The Casio W-218H is often called the poor man's G-Shock, and that's a pretty fair assessment, because at first glance it looks like your standard square G-Shock, but in reality it's more like a hybrid, blending G-Shock's tough aesthetic with the simplicity of a basic Casio module. But don't let the word cheap throw you off. I mean, this thing cost me 21 Canadian dollars, and for that price you're getting an incredible deal on a solid watch. It comes in a bunch of different styles, but this one with the red strap really stands out. I love that contrast between the red strap, black buckle, and then the black watch face. It just makes the whole thing pop. Then the strap itself has this crosshatch pattern instead of the usual smooth finish you see on these cheap Casios, which adds some nice texture. It's also a pretty large strap, so it should fit a wide range of wrist sizes. Comfort-wise, it's lightweight and it's easy to wear all day long. The wavy pattern you see near the watch case helps with the airflow, keeping your wrist a little bit cooler. For an inexpensive Casio, it is a well thought out and well executed design. The watch case also has red accents to match the strap, which is a nice added touch. Both the case and the strap are made of resin, so they're durable without adding a lot of weight. Size-wise, it's 43 millimeters wide and 10.8 millimeters thick. On paper that might sound a bit large, but it wears really well on the wrist. Now, one thing to note, the screen is made from resin glass, and unlike a G-Shock, you're not going to find a major bezel overhang to protect it, but there are these little circular bumps around the edge that are going to give you some minor protection. So while it's definitely not bulletproof, it's not completely exposed either. On the watch face, you'll see water resistant 50 meters, and that is a big step up from something like an F91W. With 50 meters of water resistance, you can confidently wear this in the shower, to go swimming, or just not worry about getting it wet. It's not full G-Shock level, but for a budget Casio, it's pretty damn good. One of the biggest upgrades over something like an F91W is the backlight. It's a single LED position on the left side, but it lights up the whole screen evenly. Unlike the F91W where the backlight only brightens up one side, this one actually works really well in the dark. The only drawback is there is no afterglow on this one. It only stays on while you're holding the button down. But in terms of brightness, it is a massive improvement and very good overall. One thing people love about this watch is the large, easy to read numbers. And then some of the cheaper Casios cram a lot of text and extra elements onto the screen, but this one keeps it a little bit cleaner and more simple overall. So at a glance, you get the time, the day of the week, and the date. The top left button lets you switch between 24-hour and 12-hour formats, and then there are small indicators to let you know if the alarm or the hourly chime is active. Right now, these are both on. Functionally, this watch is very similar to an F91W. This mode button cycles through the usual features you're going to find. The alarm is a basic one alarm setup. There's no snooze function, no multiple alarms, and then you can toggle the hourly chime on or off in this mode as well. You get a stopwatch, and this will measure up to an hour, and you do get split time functionality. Most people rarely use this feature for other than a basic stopwatch kind of thing, but it does have that extra feature if you want. Then when you press the button again, you're in time setting mode, and this thing keeps great time, plus or minus 30 seconds a month, which you don't find for too many $20 watches. Now the button layout is a bit different from most Casios. The light button is on the bottom right instead of the top left, which took some getting used to. But the buttons are made out of metal and they're easy to press. You don't need to dig your fingernail in like you do with some models. Even with gloves on, you can access these easily. The biggest selling feature with the Casio W-218H is the look and feel. You're getting something that looks a lot like a G-Shock, but at the price of an F91W. A lot of people are going to mistake this for a G-Shock at first glance, and in a way, it offers the best of both worlds. You get rugged styling with a simple, no-frills module. The backlight is also excellent, and the large numbers makes it one of the easiest budget Casios to read. If there's one thing I don't love though, it's that button layout. I prefer the more traditional Casio setup, which I'm very used to, and this one did throw me off at first. The other minor issue is the viewing angle. When you look straight at the screen, the display appears slightly faded, but as soon as you tilt it a little tiny bit, it becomes much more clear. It's not a deal breaker, and in day-to-day use, you're usually looking at it from a slight angle anyways, but it's definitely something to be aware of. Overall, the Casio W-218H is a fantastic option in the budget Casio lineup. If you love the simplicity of an F91W, but you find it a little bit too small or you hate that weak backlight, this is a great alternative. It keeps things simple and inexpensive while adding a more rugged, substantial feel to the watch. And then with multiple color options available, there's a good chance you're gonna find one that suits your specific style. So for the price, this is an extremely hard Casio watch to beat. If you want to see another great inexpensive Casio option, check out this video here.